guys, welcome back. This is going to be a review on the new Real Techniques Miracle Diamond Complexion Sponge. This is one of the sponges that I wanted to try because it's from the Bold Metals collection. I tried a couple of brushes from the Bold Metal collections and I love them. I think that they are worth the money compared to the regular line of Real Techniques. I find that those brushes are they're different, the bristles are different, and I love to use them with my cream eyeshadows, but whenever I want to get the more well blended look with the less amount of effort, I always go back to my Bold Metal collection brushes. I have a couple of reviews. I'm going to link it in the top of the screen right now. So in this video, I'm just going to share with you my experience with this sponge and kind of compare at the end with the Miracle Complexion, so you'll have an idea the difference between one and the other in my experience, and hopefully help you decide which one is going to be best for you. So this retails for $10, which is about $4 more than the Miracle Complexion sponge. Of course, I mentioned this is from the Bold Metal collection, and this has a very particular shape with 13 different faces. When I saw it, I thought to myself, it has this face right here, it does have this rectangle right here, and it has the bottom. Okay, why do I need so many faces in this sponge? Once I started to read about it, you can use it for concealer, foundation, powders. You can use it for contouring. You can use it for highlighting your blush. Pretty much everything you can get it done with this just one sponge. So that's when everything started to make sense. For example, these little rectangles down here, I used the first one to apply my concealer. Now I use a correcting concealer because I have very dark circles, and I find that when I use that specific part of the sponge, I feel like I get more coverage than when I use any other parts, not only because it's more concentrated, the product in only that area, but because I feel like it goes perfectly under my eyes or under the lash line and it covers everything. I feel like it does give me more coverage than when I use a brush, and it doesn't settle into my fine lines. Then when I use it with a brush, sometimes I can over apply the concealer and it will settle into the fine lines. With this one, I find that you get the right amount of product. Now, the other face, the other rectangle face, I usually use it to set my concealer. I also use another one if I want to highlight under my eyes with the triangle. I use another face. If I want to contour, I use another of the rectangle faces so I can apply the product directly there. With this one, you can swipe the sponge, you don't have to stipple it, so it's easier to use it to highlight, contour, to apply your blush, because you don't have to kind of pounce it and take forever to blend it into your skin. With this one, you can kind of swipe and you will get the same results without moving your foundation or without moving anything underneath the foundation, at least in my experience. Now, the other face or the other rectangle part, I use it for highlighting because it's small enough that I can control wherever it goes, and I don't really have to be too careful because the product is going to be specifically in that area and I can get more control wherever the highlighter is going to be applied. Now, it does have a tip, and I love to use this tip to conceal, like, I don't know, dark spots or blemishes. In this case, I'm going to show you a demo how I conceal some in my chin. So I apply it directly on the blemish and then I just go with the tip. So what happens is it kind of push into whatever you apply the product and it starts to blend around wherever you apply it, and that way you get the most coverage, but it's also very well blended, so it doesn't crease or move easier than if you over apply your concealer. Now, these longer parts, you can use them for, you know, around your nose. I use it a lot for that because I have a lot of redness in that area, also to the smile lines. If I want to apply the concealer, I also use those sides because I feel like that's the best way to get around those small areas and I can still get more coverage. I also use it if I want to cover something that the first layer of foundation didn't cover. I apply a little bit more and then blend it with one of those sides. And of course, the bottom, you can use it to apply the foundation all over the face. face. Since it's a bigger surface, you can do it faster and you can get more of a full coverage. Now, if I compare it with the Miracle Complexion Sponge, the number one thing that you will be able to tell if you put them side by side is that this one, it will give you more coverage than the Miracle Complexion. This is more dense, but in a good way. It doesn't have as big of pores as the Miracle Complexion, and I feel that's what it makes a difference as far as how the product is applied to your face. Because when I pick up the foundation or the concealer, I know that I'll take it from my hand and it will straight to my face, and it's not going to be absorbed by the sponge. I've noticed that this one, it keeps clean every single time. Even if I don't wash it after each use, it will always be this white, while this one, I feel like it absorbs a little bit more of the product, and it's harder to get rid of those stains because they go deep into the sponge. So that's one of the things that I've noticed right away. If I want more coverage, I always go with the Miracle Diamond Sponge. If I want something more sheer, then I can use this one because I feel like this one absorbs a little bit more the product than this other one does. Now, another thing that I already mentioned is this one is a little bit more dense than the Miracle Complexion Sponge, and in my experience is a little bit better because it makes handling this sponge in your face a lot easier than when you use this one that it's a little bit more flimsy. This one, of course, has the one face and then the rest of the sponge, and it doesn't have a tip, so you do have to kind of pinch it and kind of, you know, try to find the perfect angle to make it work for you. Well, this one, it already has all the angles that you need, and it makes it easier. You don't have to really think about it too much. You just find the perfect angle and you just apply, and you apply the product into your face. So if you ask me which one is worth buying, for me, I would totally repurchase the Miracle Diamond Sponge. I feel like it will give me more coverage. It's easier to use. I can use it with more than one product. So if I decide to not use my brushes for the day, or if I want to use everything liquid for the day, I know that I can trust this sponge. And if I'm just going to use it with foundation and concealer, I know that I will get the most coverage with this in the fastest way of application to my face. Now, if you are the kind of person that don't need a lot of coverage, or you don't want more coverage than what this gives you, then, you know, this is a good sponge. It's not bad or anything like that, but I think it's more basic, and I think that you can achieve more flawless results when you use this other one, just because of how it applies the product to your face and how you can change the faces and apply different products, different colors or whatever, and you won't get a muddy look. So that was for me and in my experience. Hopefully this video helps you decide which one is going to be best for you, what you want into your makeup. You know, what do you want to look like? Do you want more coverage? Do you want less coverage? Do you want something simple? So anyways, let me know in the comments down below if you tried any of these sponges and what your experience is with them. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you're new, remember to subscribe so you won't miss any new videos every week, and I'll see you on my next one.